Hello, everybody, and welcome
Still,
to Brooks Knows Baseball, the regular podcast. I guess this would be week number 4 of our weekly podcast. Right now, it is weekly. There will be times where we do occasionally put some special edition ones out throughout the week. That's just depending on the time and everything like that as well. Until all of our subscribers allow us to quit our jobs and YouTube starts paying us. But again, if you're here, if you found this channel, if you like what you're seeing, please do like it, share it, subscribe it, comment it. All helps our algorithm get us seen. I know we're shooting okay for a brand new channel, but we're trying to just do more and grow the channel as much as we can. But it's a great thing. I know a lot of teams have 21 games, roughly 21 games right now. So it's really exciting. But John, I'll let you go ahead and kick it off and let us know what you're thinking so far of, I guess, the first month-ish of baseball.
all right. Well, I want to talk about one surprise team and then a couple other teams that are really hot. We got to talk about the Pirates. Heavens to Murgatroyd. They're 16-7, won 7 in a row. Tampa, 19-3, won 5 in a row. Baltimore, 14-7, second best record in the American League, tied with Texas, both 14-7. Orioles won 6 in a row. The Mets, well, they've won 8 out of their last 11. They just lost. Milwaukee's 15-7, won 7 out of their last 10. But then on the flip side, you got to talk about teams that are cold. Atlanta, Detroit, and the White Sox have all lost 4 in a row. Cincinnati's lost 6 in a row. And then when you talk about mediocrity, Oakland's 4-18. What a joke. Colorado, they've been rebuilding for years, I guess, 6-17. But that's what I want to start off with. And there's numerous
Wait,
things
did you
here. I
mention
looked at
the
numerous
speaking
stats.
of bad teams, the Kansas City Royals?
No,
But
I'm
at
trying to
least they're
avoid
hitting the ball.
it. Starting to.
Their catchers, Melendez and Salvador Perez, either of them hitting over 200? Either of them hitting over 175?
No, Melendez, did he get hurt or something today? He came out early in the game.
I
I don't
think the
know. I
Royals
didn't.
could hope so, the way he's been playing.
Yeah, he should have been. He tore it in the minor leagues, but that was the
But
minor
they've had a
leagues.
lot of those guys. They had Nick Prado do it, and Melendez and Pasquantino. But Pasquantino was obviously successful at major leaguer as well. But it's not clicking.
No, they're poor drafting or development. Something's wrong there.
Yep.
I mean, you look at the Pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how this is going to end up for them, but 16-7.
At
I'm
least it
loving it.
gives their fans hope. That's the biggest thing. I think if their fan base needed something to cheer about, even if it doesn't last, they can look at this and say, well, maybe there's positive steps happening that we haven't seen in the previous years.
Yeah, raise the Jolly Roger, right?
We can go.
Uh, yeah, they're doing good. I like it. Kind of always liked them.
It's weird. Let me cut you off there. I absolutely cannot stand the Steelers. For whatever reason, I hate them more than almost any team, but I don't mind the Pirates at all. But I hate the Penguins as well. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on the
Yeah.
Penguins.
Sidney Crosby's not better than Alex Ovechkin. We'll throw that out there.
Yeah, and something else I wanted to touch base before we get the stats. One rookie that's really coming on is James Outman with the Dodgers. He's had 74 at bats. He's got to be the front runner for the Rookie of the Year in the National League. He hit what he hit 3 home runs yesterday in a game, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he's got 19 RBIs,
Yeah.
batting over 300,
He
311.
is
I'm
the
watching him.
he is the rookie of the year right now for the National League.
Yeah, and
You got to talk about Yoshida, what he did today. I've never many times heard
2
that.
home runs, 1
So
in. It's like the 53rd or 58th time it's happened in
it's
history.
impressive.
Yeah. Yeah,
His
I'm
average
just
isn't
good for the
good,
Red Sox.
but being as
No.
I kind of consider that like a double A guy getting caught up. But
Yeah, he's got to
well, hell,
adjust. He's
he's
got to
doing better
adjust.
than a lot of these superstar rookies that are are supposed to be these studs aren't doing anything. So
Well, he's a lot older than most of them, but then you got Logan O'Hoppe with the Angels batting 283 catching. I didn't think. I know in our preview we mentioned he might be the catcher, but I think it's by default because of injuries. But he's going to
hitting 283, which ain't bad.
take over. No, and how about now? Someone I watched several times this year is Corey Julks from Houston. Came out of nowhere, like a 28-year-old rookie, maybe. Had power in the minors. He's batting what?
328.
Yeah. Wow. Corbin Carroll's still 280. Good to see. Spencer Steer, he's doing great. 281.
Josh Young, I think, is doing pretty good too. He's hitting 272, but He's 3 home runs. He only
Yes.
has 3 home runs, and I feel like I've seen all of them.
Well, and something else about him, he's a really good
Hmm.
defender. You know, Jordan Walker, still hitting 274. He's a 20-year-old guy. He's playing pretty much every day. Got to like him. The fellow with Oakland, Esturi Ruiz, he's batting 280 with not much help around him. He's doing good. It's good for the game. A lot of good young guys. Exciting to watch. I like watching different games. Seeing all these guys. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how one of my teams that I follow closely, the Washington Nationals, went into Minnesota, one of the teams we thought might win a division, and took 2 out of 3, won the series from Minnesota. Minnesota ought to be ashamed,
Yep.
you know. But
Speaking
anyway,
of rookies, let me throw this out there real quick. Do you remember early on when we were doing our 30 for 30 podcast, which we have a playlist, by the way, check it out. Remember we mentioned Hunter Brown, another rookie?
yes.
He has a 1.2 whip. Opponents are hitting just 233 against him, and he has a 3.0 ERA, and he's 2-0. So he's probably the best rookie pitcher.
What's going to happen when McCullers comes back if he does? But it won't matter because he'll start 2 times and get hurt
Yeah.
again. Probably warming up, picking daisies or something in the outfield.
Yeah. Well, another guy,
And
another rookie guy, I think is worth at least mentioning, leading the rookie pitchers in strikeouts. He started off had a couple bad games, but I think the last 2 games, at least part of 2 games ago, and then last game he did good was Grayson Reyes. Finally, looked like maybe it clicked for him.
Yeah, he always has that one inning. But he didn't give up any runs today. But I watched him.
He has 25 strikeouts in 19 innings. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah, he's. It's early. Let's see what if he how his development continues. Because if he comes on, the whole staff of Baltimore in last week's been lights
Yeah.
out. Okay, and if he comes on, the rest of the league is going to be in trouble. Because just like we predicted, they're going to be better. They're 14-7 in their first 21 games. Last year they were like 5-15 the first 20. Big turnaround. So you get that early start, you be in it, and they're going to get John Means at some point. And if he's the John Means of old, he'll slot in there pretty good. Gibson's pitching really good for them. I mean, I never expected
Not
that.
as good as he's doing.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you something. On the flip side, you talk about something that's not working out. Aaron Judge, everybody's Superboy, 244 hitter, 244, 6 home runs, 11 RBIs. That ain't happening. And then on the flip side of that, on the guys that are doing good, Kalenic with Seattle, 319, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. You might remember in our previews when I was talking about him, how I said he'd made some adjustments. I watched him when he was a lot in spring training. He's a different player. Someone else I want to talk about is that people don't, they're probably not noticing because he's in Texas, but DeGrom, his last 17 innings, he got another win today. His ERA is right around 3, but he's only given up 3 earned runs in his last 17 innings.
There you go.
And then I mentioned Fernando Tatis Jr. is back, batting a solid 167, but it's only 4 games.
You know what's incredible?
So we'll see how.
Sorry to cut you off there, but speaking about DeGrom, I just have to mention this. So he's pitched 26 innings this year. How many strikeouts do you think he has?
Probably about 40.
43. His whip is .7. That is tied with Garrett Cole.
Speaking of whips, let's see. Tell everybody what Tyler Wells, someone who nobody thinks anything of in Baltimore. What's his whip this year?
He leads the entire major leagues at a .69
Right.
in 23 innings. So it's not like he's pitched 8 innings. Obviously it's just 10 innings, roughly 10 innings less than Garrett Cole, 2 innings less than Jacob DeGrom. But
Well, let me ask you this: you probably didn't know a lot about him, and you've seen him some this year. What do you think?
it's a very good surprise. I didn't expect it at all.
So what happened? And speaking of that team, I know we don't turn this into Orioles broadcast, but they got Cole Irvin. I thought that was a great move. Cole Irvin is getting hammered at AAA. Cole's in trouble.
I kind of figured,
His
but
future is probably.
getting rid of him, I kind of thought he was going to be an innings eater guy. But Wells
don't need
is
him right
stepping
now.
up. Bradish is stepping up better. So I think
Kramer last start.
Yeah, he's really good at last start.
Gibson, they're all pitching good. But the thing about that team, they haven't played good this year. Defense has been shoddy. They can't hit. You know, so if they start to get a semblance of hitting from people, They might be a good team. They may have to make some moves at the deadline. There's a couple guys they need to get rid of. There's a couple guys like Santander who seems to come up lately, last 2 games or 2 out of 3 games in the clutch, but he don't hit any other
But
time.
you
I mean,
look
they
at the
get
Orioles
rusty.
and they're not hitting, and they're not hitting. They're 19th in the league. They're still hitting better than the Twins, the Dodgers, Yankees, Padres. So some big in the Mariners. So some big name teams on there. They're hitting better than.
I think the Yankees are lucky to be 13 and
Yeah,
9, because every time I see them, it's a struggle. Other than Garrett Cole,
yeah.
you know, and I think the Red Sox are doing better than I thought. They're over 500. Um, so they busted out again today. They're 12-11, beat Milwaukee. I think it's on the background behind me there, but yeah, Milwaukee's playing good ball too. So, um, but I got some stats here, or that's usually your thing.
Yeah,
If you want to go,
that's
but I want you can do individual, but I want to go over like team batting
yeah. We
average.
can do that. But let's go over the
Tampa.
standings real quick.
Okay, let's do
So
that.
the best record in the entire Major League Baseball, still as it's been every day this year, are the Tampa Bay Rays. They're sitting at
I
19
like
and
that.
three, but they have
Hey, what does that prove to everybody? You don't have to be a big market team. I mean, I don't think Tampa and Orlando in that area is small, but anyway, they don't spend like a big market team, but they're good. They're good year in and year
they're
out.
7 and 3 in their last 10 games. They've won 5 games in a row, which is surprisingly not the best winning streak in the American League. So then you go to Baltimore. They're 14 and 7, 4.5 games behind Tampa Bay. They are 8 and 2 in their last 10. They're winning 6 in a row. The Yankees seem to be kind of heading the other direction. Actually, they're 5 and 5. They've lost their last game. The run differential is still pretty good though, plus 21. Then you got Toronto Blue Jays 13 and 9, 5 and 5 their last 10. They won their last game. And then you have Boston 7 and 3 in their last 10, and they are 12 and 11. So they're the only division. Every single team is above 500, which that tells you right there that the AL East is the best division in baseball, bar none really. Then you go to the AL Central. Got the Minnesota Twins first place at 12 and 10, 4 and 6 in the last 10. So they are not doing good,
That's the weakest
but
division in
that is
baseball.
the weakest division. So they do have they are the only team with a positive run differential in that league. They got Cleveland Guardians at 11 and 11, Tigers at 7 and 13. They have lost 4 in a row. The White Sox 7 and 15. Or how do you feel about the White Sox? They've lost 4 in a row as well. 2 and 8 in the last 10.
They walk too many people, don't they? Isn't that their
Yeah,
problem? Their
well, they got
pitching.
a lot of problems on that team. But then you got Kansas
Yeah.
City, who is 5 wins and 17 losses. Pretty rough. Then you go to the AL West. Not surprisingly, to me at least, the Texas Rangers are 14 and 7, 7 and 3 in their last 10 games. They've won 2 in a row.
And
They have
Houston's coming now.
yes, they have the second best run differential in the American League at plus 60. Houston is also 7 and 3, winners of 4 straight. Uh,
Yeah, they went and swept Atlanta in Atlanta. That's pretty good.
it
That's
is
impressive.
impressive. And then they play Tampa though, so that should be a very good series
Yeah, yeah.
starting
We'll see the
tomorrow.
separate.
And then we got the LA Angels at 500, right around what they usually are for the entirety of the year. They're 4 and 6 though, so they're not doing too good. Then you got Seattle at 10 and 12, a little bit under 500, 6 and 4 in the last 10. Then this one stat I'm going to tell you about the Oakland Athletics. They're 4 and 18, worst team in baseball. What do you think their run differential is?
Probably about 70.
103, negative 103. The Las Vegas A's. I'm sorry, the Oakland A's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a shame they're leave.
Well,
I feel bad for the few fans that go to the games. Them 2,500 people a
I
night.
read somewhere that they said they major league the team. They sold all their players. They wouldn't invest in the stadium. The weather sucks. They don't draw dick. Excuse me. But major league, we'll give the props there. But looking at the National League, got an NL East. Atlanta is 14 and 8, losing 4 games
Hanging
in a
on.
row barely. The Mets are coming, but the Mets also have lost 2 games in a row.
Lost last two,
Yep.
right? To the mighty
Yep,
Giants.
yep, yep.
Ugh.
And the Mets are only half game out at 14 and 9. The Miami Marlins surprisingly 12 and 10.
Yeah, they went into Cleveland and what won 3 out of 4, was it?
Yeah, they just lost their most recent game, but I don't think that's very sustainable. They're negative 23 run differential. I think the run differential tells a lot. But then you have the Philadelphia Phillies just under 500, 11 and 12.
Yeah, they're they're turning around, and Bryce Harper may be back within 2-3 weeks.
Yes, they're 7-3. They have won 3 straight. So I expect them most likely to play in Seattle. Seattle's not doing too good this year, so Philly should look decent against them. Then you got Washington Nationals at 7-14. Huh?
What team was that? What team?
The Washington Nationals.
Yeah, let's. I was born in Washington. Let's say it the right
Yeah,
way.
well, your family heritage is all from the northern and northeast. So, anyway, moving on. We have the speaking of where your family's from, Pittsburgh Pirates, the 16-7 first place winners of
Correct.
7 games.
Go Bucks.
7 games in a row they've won. 8-2 in their
We like the
last
Pirates.
10. Speak for yourself. The Milwaukee Brewers at 15-7, 7-3 in their last 10. Then we got the Chicago Cubs at 12-9. That's a surprise to me. They have lost
Yeah, Bellinger. So you mentioned Bellinger's having a turnaround season there. He's doing all right.
The St. Louis
Good to see.
Cardinals, surprisingly to me,
Dying.
are 9-3, 4-6 in the last 10. Then they got the Cincinnati Reds. Not surprisingly.
Well, hey, time out. The Cardinals. I think you mentioned last week. They don't have pitching.
Mm-mm.
I don't see them. I see them. It's just like I told you 40 years. The Dodgers. There's a big surprise on the Dodgers I want to mention too, but they're not doing that good.
No.
Win one, lose one. You
They're
know,
fi- yeah,
they
they're 5-5 in their last 10. I think they're going to still win that division. I think run differential is a big stat to look at, and they're the only one in the NL West with a positive run differential. I don't think Arizona's sustainable. San Diego, they're playing horrible. Like
that's who's going to win that
they
division.
can't
Got
hit it.
pitching.
They're like 29th in the league in hitting.
They'll hit. Tatis is back. He'll get rolling.
Unless he rides a
Machado's
motorcycle.
not hit. Or the roids, or whatever he took. I mean PEDs. Yeah, but I think they'll come around. I think they'll win a division. I think Dodgers are treading water until they think they're going to sign Ohtani there. You know, because they didn't spend any money. But you know, there's a fact when you go over the home run leader. I was shocked.
Well, let me finish the NL West and we'll go to the individual stats. So NL West, we got Arizona 12-11 winning. Also tied with the lead are the Los Angeles Dodgers at 12-11. Same record as Arizona. They got San Diego at 12-12. They have won 2 in a row. The Dodgers also won 2 in a row, and the Arizona Diamondbacks have lost 2 in a row. So we'll see what they are. Diamondbacks play Kansas City. Dodgers play Pittsburgh, so who knows how that's going to go. And the Padres play Chicago starting the week. So there's all good teams that those guys are playing. You got San Francisco who's playing right now. I don't know if they're winning or not, but they're 8-13. They are 3-7 in the last 10. And then Colorado 6-17, 1-9 in the last 10. They are pretty much, go ahead and say it, eliminated from playoff contention already.
Yeah.
Good.
Is there any? Okay, are you done?
I was going to go over individual stats here, and we'll get moving right along.
I wanted to say one thing. You know, being pretty much an Orioles fan and a Nationals fan, the Norfolk Tides in AAA. Holy cow! They put up 17 runs again today. I'm pretty sure they have the best record in the league, and they not only beat people. I think they got the most runs in the league. I mean, they pummel teams.
They still hit the majors.
Well, my personal opinion on that, you got to blame somebody. So they got 2 hitting coaches who had no major league experience, some lower minor league guys, and all of a sudden they're qualified. If you'll notice, every player they get since they've been there, Mountcastle's numbers have dropped. Gunnar Henderson come up from the Tides. He was still hot. Boom. They work with him all season. He sucks. Gunnar Henderson's going to be a bust at the way he's playing right now. I think he'll come around, but they're going to have to get someone else in there. I don't know how long they're going to put up with them hitting coaches because most teams in the right mind say, okay, the common denominators can't get rid of all the players, got to get rid of coaches. And they got 2 coaches, which is obviously must be confusing. I'm not in the clubhouse, and I don't know if they, one coach gets a certain amount of guys or what. Something's not working because they hit like crap. I mean, they won all those games, but they're playing crap teams, and they should be pummeling these teams like the Tides, but they don't. Okay, I'm done. Oh, no, I'm not. Jackson Holiday, first pick last year. The boy is amazing. He's only batting a cool, hold on, jumped away here. 404. 404. He's got 2 home runs out, 14 RBIs, 3 steals. On base percentage is .533. All right, maybe let's bring him up.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's going to be by the beginning of next year. He'll be number one prospect on a prospect list.
Yep,
Watch.
I agree with that. But moving on to individual stats, let's take a look at the American League real quick. If I asked you the top three hitters as far as hits go in the American League, and if I told you they're all on the same team, what team and what players would you say?
For rookies?
No, no, just
Hits.
just the leading hitters in the American League. They're all
Probably have to be Tampa.
no
Well, I don't know how it's not. They got 282 team batting average.
Toronto.
Well,
They got Bo Bichette, my MVP pick, making me look like a genius here. 31 hits, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, hitting 330. Then you got Matt Chapman, who's 29 hits, hitting 367 with 5 home runs. Then you got Vlad Guerrero, 29 hits, 5 home runs, hitting 341. Those three guys. And then they are, you got Alex Verdugo, 29 hits, 322 average. And then
it won't last.
Randy Arozarena at number 5, hitting
Arozarena, please.
Tomato potato, who is hitting 28 hits, 341, 5 home runs, and 22 RBIs. So the top 5 hitters in the American League are all in the American League East. Excuse me. I'm taking a look again here. Let's look at the home run leaders in the American League. The first place with the home runs would be Rafael Devers, another American League East guy who has 8 home runs, 21 RBIs, hitting 256. You got Adolis Garcia from Texas with 7 home runs, 28 RBIs. Jordan Alvarez, 6 home runs, 27 RBIs. Yandy Diaz, 6 home runs, 15 RBIs. And then
when you talk about RBIs, the two leaders are both from Texas, man. Garcia and Alvarez, 28 and 27.
Yep. And then Arozarena, 22 RBIs. Rafael Devers, 21 RBIs. And Ryan Mountcastle still somehow, some way getting some RBIs, which I guess is good when you're only hitting 213.
And I had one this week, didn't he?
Yeah, he's cooled off quite a bit. But looking at the strikeout leaders in the American League, Riley Green in 235 has 32 strikeouts and 80 at-bats. Pretty high number. Aaron Judge has 31 strikeouts, 78 at-bats. Byron Buxton, someone you wouldn't expect to see up there, is 29 strikeouts, only hit 243. MJ Melendez should be in Omaha any day now, only hit 178, striking out 30 times and 73 at-bats, which is just wild. So, then you got Josh Young, but Josh Young's hitting 272, so you will definitely...
And good defense.
Yeah, you'll take that. But looking here at the top average guys, you got Matt Chapman, Arozarena, Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, Mauricio Dubon hitting 329. But then we'll take a look here at the National League. The National League leading hitter is Ronald Acuna, followed by Nico Horner, 33. Acuna has 34. Bryson Stott, 33. Luis Arraez, 32. And Xander Bogaerts, 29. Home run leaders there, we have Max Muncy.
That's what I was talking
Max
about.
Muncy.
Where'd that come from? I thought he was dead and gone, ability-wise, because he didn't do jack much. But
no.
Anyway, I'm sure that won't last.
He has 11 home runs. Leading Pete Alonso with 10, Patrick Wisdom 9, James Outman 7, and Rowdy Tellez with 7 as well, rounding out top 5. Going to the RBI leaders here, first place we have Pete Alonso, 23. Nolan Gorman from the St. Louis Cardinals with 22.
Yeah.
He's hitting 313 this year. Is pretty good. Max Muncy, 21. Matt Olson, 20. And James Outman again with 19.
Keep hearing his name, don't you?
Yeah. Strikeout leaders, Matt Olson leads the league in strikeouts with 37 and 86 at-bats. Jism has 33 strikeouts. Didn't he get hurt in the fight for a long time? Or is that another one I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of Cruz, aren't you?
I don't know. But I think it is O'Neill Cruz, actually. He's one of the most overhyped players I can remember, Jism, not Cruz. He's hitting 215. He's never hit ever in his career. And they go ahead and put him on the cover of the show, which is ridiculous. And they got J.D. Martinez, Ryan McCann. They're not hitting great. Any surprises there for you?
Nope. Pretty much like you expect. And it's early. It's amazing how most guys will be pretty close to their lifetime average, year after year, within a few points either way. Yeah. It just all evens out. It's amazing every year. But when we talk about stats, on base percentage, Arraez
Let me see,
506?
447.
Yeah, and
Unreal.
Nimmo. I think I'm really impressed with Nimmo. I've always liked Nimmo in the Mets, and he's got a 459. He's batting well over 300. Yeah, I like him. And you talk about averages. How about Marsh? Man, where'd he come from? I mean, I know where he came from, but um, I didn't expect that. Because he didn't really hit in California or out in California for the Angels. But maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
We didn't mention it. Where is he here? Trout has a 440 on base versus. I know you're a big Trout guy, so I thought I'd mention that
No.
to you. And how about stolen bases? Early pick for MVP to me might be Acuna, your buddy. 12 steals. He's 452 on base, 374 average. I don't know what his RBIs are. He's up there in a lot of stats, man. He's good, and he plays good in the field.
Yeah, he's an average, a little
He's
above
he's
average.
healthy. He's he's healthy. Would you take him on your team? Yeah, because he can hit. On your team needs a hitter.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and take a
Couple.
look here at pitching real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and read it off by the entire major leagues here. But the winners are all tied with 4. We got Garrett Cole 4-0, Kyle Gibson with Baltimore 4-0, Clayton Kershaw 4-1, Shane McClanahan 4-0, and then Joe Ryan with the Minnesota Twins at 4-0 as well. Taking a look.
Brian's an underrated pitcher,
I
man.
100% agree.
And when you talk about pitchers, Garrett Cole's obviously the front runner for the side. His numbers are amazing this year. It's his best start I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's always been good, solid, good to upper pitcher, but he's really lights out this year, man.
Taking a look at the most losses in baseball this year, we got Chris Flexen, ain't flexing on nobody. 0-4 with an 8.86 ERA in 21 innings.
Seattle?
Yeah, he's played 21 innings, given up 21 runs, earned runs. Pretty bad. Then you got Shintaro Fujinami, rough man.
He's got to have the worst.
0-4 with a 14 ERA, 15 innings. He has given up 24 earned runs, which is just god awful. And
How long before he's back in the old Nippon League?
it's got to be real soon. But
he needs to learn the old ghost forkball from Mets Point, man.
Yeah, but taking a look here at Austin Gomber, he is 0-4 with a 12.1 ERA, 16 innings, has 22 earned runs. Damn, I just love talking pitching stats. I just love it.
Hey, speaking of pitching stats, I think you got to give out a shout out to Corbin. He only gave up 3 runs in 6 innings today for Washington.
Yeah,
And he got his ERA under 6.
yeah. And then you got Josiah Gray, who's also 0-4, but he's only has a 3.7 ERA. So,
well, I seen him pitch the other night, and he pitched 5 innings, get 1 run. He looked good.
I think his numbers are the only ones who do not make sense. I mean, they make sense. I mean, they don't win, but he doesn't have like a above 8 ERA like those guys. You got Corey Kluber, who's washed as you know what. I think he's starting tomorrow, isn't he, against the Orioles? Or,
Tuesday, and they sails tomorrow.
That's automatic win for the Orioles. Book it.
Hopefully. Hey, you never can tell in baseball, man.
That's true. But looking at the qualified players as far as the lowest ERA, Shohei Ohtani 3-0 with a 0.6 ERA. Garrett Cole 0.7, Sonny Gray 0.8, Bryce Elder 1.1, and Justin Steele 1.4.
Excuse me, is Elder a rookie? I know he was up there last year, I believe, but I don't know. Is he a rookie?
It does not tell me in the stat sheet that I'm looking at.
Because if he is, he's got to be running.
Looking at the most save opportunities, David Bednar is leading the league with
he got another one today.
8. And then you got Josh Hader, who found his stuff again. He got a 0.8 with an 8 with 0.82.
He's devastating.
I like Josh Hader. He reminds me of a prime Andrew Miller. They're both big, tall lefties.
But I think he throws harder than doesn't
Andrew Miller was like 97, 98 when he was on.
Okay, because Hader's got what is a slider that just slides across the plate.
That's what
like a sweeper.
That's what I forgot his name. Who we're talking about? Andrew Miller. That's what he had, a slider too. From across the plate. Awful trade by the Orioles, by the way. Giving up Eduardo Rodriguez, who had a perfect game into like 6 or 7 today. Has a 2.2 2.8 ERA, I think, this year. But yeah, they got Emmanuel Clace, 7 saves, Jordan Romano, 7 saves, Paul Seward, 6
Clase,
saves, and Felix Bautista, 5 saves. But
Clase,
he had what?
Clase.
Oh, did I say
Not
Clace?
Paul.
Tomato, potato.
Oh,
Looking at the most home runs given up, let's see if there's any. Jose Urena gave up 9 home runs in 18 innings. That's also quite a bit. Michael Kopech. Okay, let me address something real quick. I, beginning of this year, said Michael Kopech was my breakout pitcher. Clearly, I was wrong. And I'm
you
gonna,
broke out a chance of being good to being crap.
yeah, he's rough, man. He is rough, but he's
It's about time to give up on him because
yeah.
he's been a prospect for
Yeah,
years. And
I agree. Looking at the strikeout leaders here, we have Jacob DeGrom, 43. Kevin Gausman, who I put in my top 20 players this year, was
pitched good today. Didn't he get a win against the Yankees today?
he did 41
There you go.
strikeouts this year, 1.0 whip, 2.8 ERA for Kevin Gausman. I remember telling you at the beginning of the year he's a top 20 player, not pitcher, player in the bigs, and you just said no, he's not. But clearly, I'm right, and as usual, you are not right. Moving on, we got Zach Gallen with the Arizona Diamondbacks at 2.5 ERA, 39 strikeouts. Pablo, I just got hammered my last game. Lopez has 39 strikeouts, and then with the top 5, got Shohei Ohtani at 38.
Well, all right.
You know, your team stats are real quick.
I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon, so you may have to finish it. I'm about battery dying here.
Well, that sounds like someone had a failure to prepare. Yeah, well, how about this? Check our website. We got our team stats there and everything like that. But real quick, the top hitting team is the Tampa Bay Rays. The worst hitting team
And the top pitching team.
and the top pitching, the worst hitting team are the Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals, San Diego Padres. Not many. Well, I guess the Padres are extremely surprising. They're down there. But yeah, John, let's do your final thoughts here. We're right around the half-hour mark, and give us your going away thoughts. Anything right there? Drop some wisdom on us, big dog.
I'm just glad it's baseball season. The weather's slowly getting warmer. It's beautiful where I'm at in southeastern Virginia on the coast by the beach. It's nice and warm. I got burned a little bit today sitting out in the sun. But anyway, yeah, I'm just glad it's baseball season. My teams that I pull for are mostly doing good. You know, one's in a rebuild. I knew they're not going to be good, but they're exciting to watch. You know, for fans out there, sometimes you have a team that you watch rebuild, like I've been watching the Orioles. I like the Nationals and Orioles bounce with. The Nationals won the World Series. They're 1A and 1B to me. You know, my favorite teams. The Nats won the World Series. Say, okay, now it's time to switch to Baltimore. Let's watch the rebuild. My point is, when your team goes through a rebuild, it's exciting. Sometimes you suffer with them, but as they get good, like the Orioles have now, it's really gratifying to watch games like that. You know,
Yeah,
they're finding a way to win even when they play crappy.
let me say something here for everyone who does watch our podcast. Let the people know: is it true that coming up in about 8 weeks, we're going to have our first podcast where we're in the same room together?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
yeah, we're gonna
I'm making a big flight halfway across the
just for the
country.
podcast, man.
Well, you better take me to see the Rangers while I'm there.
Maybe.
All right.
But yeah,
Well,
one thing I'd like to say, let us know your thoughts. I know we had some interactions as well. Even if it's negative, let us know. You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
hey, when we can't be having fisticuffs when we're in the same room, though.
Maybe
I don't want to hurt you on TV.
you ain't gonna hurt me. I don't know. But yeah, so every Monday we'll release our podcast. Sunday night, Monday morning, probably Monday morning. The website gets updated every Monday, as well as far as the statistics go. Obviously, this website, just the whole idea of the podcast, everything's built on baseball stats. So something we obviously love to do. But it's exciting, man. There's some good things. My picks, as far as record wise, are doing very well. The teams that I think are going to do good, I predicted to do good, are doing very well. So that says something good about our formula that we've done. So just like my World Series pick this year was the Braves. They're one of the top teams in baseball, and the Rangers. They're one of the top teams in the American League. So, and I have the Orioles as the runner-up, and right now they are the runner-up. So,
And you had the Twins in the playoffs. They're
I had the
first.
Twins in the playoffs. Looking at the AL record projections, I had just real quick. I had the Houston Astros. They're right there.
They're
I
coming.
had the
Right.
Yankees. They're right there. They're a wild card team right now. I had the Twins. They're in. I had the Blue Jays wild card. Orioles wild card, and then the Rangers. They're winning their division. So right now I am 5 of 6 on my American League projections. Take a look real quick at my National League projections. This is all based on the formula that we came up with as well. So seeing it actually work in real time is something pretty cool. But take a look, and this is the last one we'll leave you guys with our NL projection. We have the Atlanta Braves. They're in. The Padres. They're half a game out. Cardinals looks like we overshot it on that one.
Maybe.
We have the Mets. They're in.
Trade for some pitching.
We have the Mets. They're in. The Dodgers. They're in right now. Wild card team or a half game out. And then the Phillies, who are on the way up. So all these teams in it, and
when they get Bryce Harper back, they'll be
it's a shot in the arm. People don't like Bryce the same reason they don't like Tom Brady, because he's damn good.
He's a winner. Good.
I like Bryce Harper. I like.
Nationals never got rid of him.
I like him more when he left DC, and I don't know why that is.
Well, I loved him in DC. Wish he'd have stayed.
You don't know how good you have it.
The last thing we didn't touch on, Max Scherzer suspension.
That's right. Sticky stuff. Quick. He said, "Oh, I swore my kid's life I didn't do it," but then you don't go and appeal it.
I know. He must not care about his kids. No, I shouldn't say that. I loved Max as a national. He's got more balls and heart than most any player you see on the mound.
His ERA is the worst it's been probably in a decade.
Well, he's an old man now too, so it's going to implode sometime.
And better teams see it happen too. I don't like it. Again, New York. You know how I feel about New York. I don't.
Man,
huh?
I like the Mets.
I don't dislike the Mets.
I took you to see the Mets when you were growing up, man.
Yeah, I like Ty Wigington.
Yeah. It's been a few days ago.
But
yeah, you've been to a few stadiums. But yeah, all right.
That is all for episode number 4 of our regular podcast. Again, like it, share, subscribe, especially if you watch 37 minutes of this podcast.
Oh, Drew Maggi. Say something about him real quick.
Yes, I got to say something. It's a really cool story. It's on Barstool and everything like that, so go ahead and check them out on Twitter, the videos that they put up. But Drew Maggi played, I think, 1,152 games in the minors, all across all levels of minors. 33 years old, never made it, and he finally gets called up, which is fantastic. He is crying, which is it's awesome to see.
I'm excited to see that for him.
Yeah, I hope he does good.
Human interest, Troy. That's awesome. I mean, people forget. They go, "Oh, these guys make too much money." No, they don't. Baseball's the cheapest entertainment you can see still to this day. You can almost get in any ball game, major leagues, probably for $10. And minor league baseball. So you can get cheap tickets. I know the Orioles have bleacher seats for $10 some nights. So a movie costs you more than that. So they may make a lot of money, but they perform 162 times a year plus 30 times in the training, spring training. And if they win a World Series or get to the playoffs or more, they have to train all off season. They don't take much time off. They travel. They're not away from their family. I don't begrudge them making money, and to see a guy like Maggi get up there is awesome.
And he finally gets a major league salary too, which is great for him. It said here his major league salary last year was $6,000. That was the major league. He also got a minor league salary as well, so he didn't make just $6,000. But now this year, since getting called up, it's $623,000. So
good for him. And good for him. Maybe get a chance.
He'll be 34 in 2 weeks as well. So I hope he sticks around. I mean, it's not like he's on a bad team. The team's doing great. So fingers crossed. I'm really rooting for him. The 900. He's the 917th highest paid player in the bigs this year.
Right.
That sounds like it does not make sense to me. So I need to double check the math real quick. But yeah.
All right.
That's us signing off. Brooks News Baseball. Be sure to check out our website. Like our podcast, share it. If you're here this long and you're not subscribed, why? I don't understand why you'd watch this entire video not subscribe, so please do.
Yeah, please do.
John.
And tell your friends.
There you go. To give us a sign off here, and then we'll let everyone go to sleep.
All right, that's all for now, folks. Catch us next time on Brooks Knows Baseball.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, John Boy.